Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this really cute mini Reester bunny shadow box. I saw these at Target and fell in love with them and decided to make a sweet little shadow box for them. So let me show you how easy this is to make. We're going to start with a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock that measures 6 3/8 by 7 1/8. And on all four sides, we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, 1 1/8, 1 5/8, and 2 1/4. I'm going to rotate it and repeat the same score lines on all four sides. Okay, now you want to turn your cardstock into landscape mode, and then we're going to score this at 2 3/4 and 3 5/8, but only down to the second score line. So 2 3/4, 3 5/8, stopping at that second score line. Now I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees, and we'll do the same thing, 2 3/4 and 3 5/8, like so. Next, we're going to fold and burnish on all the score lines that go all the way across the paper. I'm going to bring in a template here. With the cardstock in portrait mode, we're going to cut up the 4th score line in from the left up to the 4th horizontal score line. We're just going to cut right up that score line. And then remove this entire square corner, like so. We're going to repeat the same thing. 4th score line in from the right and 4th horizontal score line up. And then go ahead and remove that corner square. Now we're going to flip it 180 degrees. We're going to repeat the same thing. 4th score line in, 4th score line up. Remove that corner. And same thing on the right side. Okay, now those short score lines we made, those are just cutting guides. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the short score line. And then what we want to do is to connect from this score line on the angle to the next score line. And that's going to give us that little mitered edge as if this were like a picture frame. And so if it's easiest for you, just turn your paper in a way that you can line up your paper snips from score line to score line on the diagonal and make it in one cut, like so. I'm going to flip this over because it's easier for me to cut in this direction. And we're just basically making a 45-degree angle there, like so. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, cutting up those short score lines. And then cutting these at a 45-degree angle. Like so. So now our cardstock looks like the template. Now I'm going to show you how easy this shadow box is to put together. So we're on the back side of the paper here. So as you can see, it's kind of folding in. I'm going to take strips of tear and tape, and we're going to run that right along all of the edges, but I'm going right up to the score line as opposed to the edge of the cardstock. I'm just going to rotate around and put the tear and tape in each of the 4 ends, like so. And you can see that that tear and tape is right up to the score line edge. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to remove the tear and tape from all the sides. All right, now I'm going to flip it over here. We're going to just work on the wider sides first. I'm going to fold on the 1st score line and the 3rd score line and press that flat into place. So as you can see, that is laying flat, but that's going to start to form the sides of our shadow box. So on the other side, again, folding on the 1st score line, skipping the 2nd, folding on the 3rd, pressing it flat, just using our score lines to square up this box. I do the same thing on the shorter sides here, folding on the 1st and the 3rd, pressing that into place. Same thing on this side, 1st and 3rd, and press into place. All right, so we have something that resembles this. Now I'm just going to dry fit this and show you. As you start to put all the sides up you're going to see that this shadow box is going to form into place like so. Okay, so now we're just going to put a couple of drops of glue. This is the part where you want to do just a little bit of glue, and I'm going to do that in this section here, but in this upper right corner of that rectangle. Same thing over here, down here. Again, just a little drop of glue, like so. Now the trick is to kind of fold this all at the same time. So I'm pushing all four sides in at the same time. Take your time doing this, but it should go into place. Now you'll see a little bit of that glue seeping out. That's okay. But if you use a small amount, you'll see that that's just going to fold right into place. So I'm going to put this down on my tabletop and press in those corners where we put the liquid glue, just to get that glue to adhere. Give it a few seconds. Now you'll see that I have a little bit of glue peeking out. I'm just going to take my fingernail and kind of wipe that away. But there is our adorable shadow box, perfectly sized for that mini Reester bunny. How cute is that? Oh, I love it. Now let's do a little bit of decoration. I've got a piece of the Gingham Gala cardstock, and this measures just a hair longer than 2 5/8 by 5 1/2. Now I'm just going to center this on the shadow box, and we're just going to dry fit it here. So I'm just going to fold and kind of pinch on the edges of the shadow box just to get some marks on the paper. Do the same thing on the other side, like so. Now we can take that off, and you'll see that we've got those crease marks. And then all I'm going to do is fold on those crease marks and burnish the designer series paper. Now as I do that, I'm just making sure that this is straightened up before I come in and burnish, like so. And then let's just dry fit it one more time and make sure that that's going to fit, perfect fit. And before we put the tear and tape and put this together, we're going to go ahead and use the Be Mine stitched framelits. We're going to use this small little heart here, and we're going to cut a little window for the bunny's face. So what I'm going to do is just take that small heart die and just kind of place it where I want the little peekaboo frame to be. Then I'm just going to come in with my ruler, and I'm measuring from the inside of the die cut, the top of that heart, to the top of the box. And that's just a little bit more than 1 1/8. It's actually 1 3/16. So that's just going to help me when I place this on the Big Shot to cut. So I want to bring the Big Shot in here, placing the designer series paper down, and then our little heart, kind of centering it in that center section. I'm just going to come in quickly with my ruler. We wanted it to be about 1 3/16 from the top, so that's about right there. Put the top plate down, run it through the Big Shot. Then we'll just dry fit it one more time. Oh, so cute, that little bunny peeking through. Then I'm just gonna grab a strip of tear and tape, run it along the edge of one side of this belly band or wrap. Take that off with my Take Your Pick tool. We'll wrap that around the box, remembering that this side has the adhesive, so that's the last side that I'll press down. Like so. How cute is that? Just make sure it fits. It might be a little snug to start with, but if you slide your box in and out a few times, it'll kind of break the paper fibers down. But look how cute. Let's do a little bit of decorating. So I've got the Calypso Coral satin ribbon. This is 3/8 of an inch. Just going to tie a little knot on the front. And then we're going to stamp using the stamp set Itty Bitty Greetings and the sentiment Easter Blessings. I'm going to stamp that in Calypso Coral on Whisper White. I'm going to punch that out using the classic label punch. And then I want to give this sentiment some banner ends, so I'm just going to fit it back into the punch. And we're going to cut off like a little diamond here on the end, like so, to get that little banner end. Do it to the opposite side. And then we're going to pop that up on mini dimensionals. I'm just going to take a trio of them, perfect for these little banner sentiments. We'll pop that on the front. And voila, there's our little mini Reester Bunny shadow box. I love this, but it can be certainly adapted for other things. I tested that 2 Rolos would fit in here, but you need to have one of the Rolos flipped upside down. And I'm sure you'll find some other sweet things to put in this little box. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and a picture of the template. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. I have options to subscribe to both my newsletter as well as my blog updates, and I'd love to welcome you as a new subscriber. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you'd like a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, I'd love to have you join my team of Paper Pixies. And you can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.